Papa kodi taru baba nyama jambe mbele kwa waka na kukanga kwa wako le kuboko mandura zama kweli kweli. Bado mango ni range beba kanda rubo le kia le kuna bodi bibi mai. Ya ni yebi kondo ambe mia mwe. Elepe sino mwe. Elepe mede. Anunga banya ke onga fe kwa ke la jumla jodu dili jakuni. Banya temunya ni. Ke kanya ngati boto dunya mango wa badio egura jumbu miata tambla manya punya yema. Yo miata matame mbla manya ni odo. Mai. Kanya boro we Mugomento meda idoliu ni jago mbaya ami angina abe ungina makobi ne ho ngwe yama ngwa be mudomi kaluma imawai anyande kange hiro na toke gbae uti gwanya tebu Papa ko ti taru baba kana baba ma ko ko le ku ba ga bo mo no lu bane na bo mo nya ga mi a ya ga ni mo la ri do ma ka ga ni na ba nya be nya ni ya da ma ko jo e bu me nya mo da yo me dia ba ku mo e Bangala do me. Babu you want to ya bode can do me. Banya to ya bode ye. Kanga wu ngo ba nya de o. Ana di bi ma bode jam go bode. Bidi lo ko ba te bu wa da ga e be bu wa mo ne. Ye nu aye nu ba o. Ande mo ka ju bode. Be ba me wa na bo abe lu ga we a ma mu yan de ya o ama o be du ku ti de ma da ye de ke ya ga ama ro ba pe la ya la pa la ke ba bu do ba ye ando ma ni ma ba te ko yo le du lu a ko ku ko lu a bo ga nga lu a do ma ma yo bu ba ja un be ko le ga ko ku ko lo la ba te ko pa da ayo mi ale ko ko ka ma aya ande ji na bulu ko na me gra bo de ya di ba nya ja lu ro nya le bla bla ko de ko bu ni na ga na ko ma ko wo ni je bi ko le ka waki ari nyarema ende nyarema ke maja kwika ko bo abato tabe umbo ebra ki be ma bato chami atetele ne tu ibra kwete ungo kukwina kana ne makoma ji ye ika nyani chati umbate ende mia rana kote Gaba
All right, we'll just do a little fade out on that. That is Salia Koroma, and my pronunciation is entirely uninformed. Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Dallas, and if you're tuning in for the first time, I call this the Accordion stream. We look at the world of music and life, mostly music, from an accordion player's perspective. But we look at all of it, you know, more beyond just the bellows and the buttons and the keys, all this stuff. And we love checking out all sorts of musics, all sorts of musicians and perspectives. And this stream is so cool because it's become like, you know, a window to so many different cultures and ways to approach the accordion, you know, which is life and human beings. And it's so cool. Almost like a little, you know, kind of NPR style thing. Not really, because I don't do any research. Maybe in years past to this stream, I was doing some research, and I even had some help sometimes from former university professor who's a sometime watcher and an all-the-time accordionist, and that was cool. But I'm excited on this stream. This morning I had the idea of like, oh, let's see how much if I put the words, you know, Africa and accordion together. Well, I'll tell you, the first thing that came up is like 1 million covers of Africa by Toto, which I thought of like, you know, leading with, but that's a little bit too ironic. We want to be in the age of post-ironic genuinism. That's what I say. Anyway, that's great. I see in the chat Nomad Farmer is here and Birdie Wooster is here. Hey, everybody. And you know what? If I click the multi-stream button, then I can see all the other stuff too. All the other chats, that is. It's so great to have you all here today. And BGR is here. Hey, BGR. Let's see. Nomad Farmer says, I have an above average interest / connection to West African music, and it had never occurred to me that there was accordion stuff there. So I'm going to restate. Hang on. I'm going into other stuff on the playlist. The impetus for this, like why we're at, I guess, not why. Hey, Charlie's here. Hey, Charlie. I hope you're great. I hope everybody's great. It's great to see everyone. You know, I had this kind of like realization moment. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but that just taking a look at the world that I know, that I exist in as a piano accordion player in, you know, North America, that it seemed really, I just became aware that to me, there seemed to be a divide between the world of like chromatic accordions, really very Western European based, and I suppose Russia is in there too, instruments, and then the world of diatonic accordions. And that there was a divide, and I didn't see representation in my experience. I'm not drawing this for everybody else, but just for me, of the music of the entire Southern Hemisphere. You know, for which, like in the town that I live in normally in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, when I go out my front door, if I'm gonna hear accordion music, it's gonna be really loud, really danceable. Probably like merengue or cumbia or something like that, and it's gonna be played by like, you know, people who are not accordion nerds, and it's you know, it's music to dance and to drink and to laugh and stuff like that. It's popular music. And I thought to myself, man, I don't know anything about this music like I want to. So then that started me on this like theme of weekly accordion streams, choosing a country and starting with the, you know, just search the country's name, Peru, and accordion, you know, and then in Spanish, and and then trying to learn as much as I could. And I was putting together those live streams like that, and so many cool things. And I want to continue that. It's just that that's a little bit more laborious. So I want to first like preface today's stream about the music of Africa is that like I want to be like super respectful that I know nothing about this, and I really didn't do any research at all. I didn't look at Wikipedia articles. I did find one article that was very helpful, but like I am extremely ignorant here. So I'm very much just like a tourist. I cannot give very much context, but I would like to, that's and on future streams. But it's still going to be really fun, and we're going to still check out a bunch of really cool music. And some of it is like devotional music, for Christianity, or like I have like in the queue is like a Hare Krishna little like parade or something, some is that, some is secular, some of it I have no idea, what it's about or where it's from. And there's a lot of like, politics and war and all kinds of stuff that I came across just in gathering these videos together. I will say that what I found is like it seems to me from the little bit that I scrounged around today for the stream that the accordion tradition is strongest in West Africa. And that's really, we'll just jump right into it. I'm going to do also like a little kind of talk about what I'm practicing. And then the framing is going to be about like how to work on like the feeling of plateau. And also I haven't played anything today. I've been doing other stuff. So I'm going to talk about how I warm up and what sort of my inner process is about warming up, which I didn't announce when I promoted this. Let me go to the browser. So this is accordions.com. Let's see. I need to expand this window here. Pardon me. I know there's a reader. Let me see if I do the reader thing. Can we see it? Nope, not quite yet. Okay. So this is accordions.com, which I don't know who runs accordions.com. So I cannot credit them. But I used this, I in the middle of my search, or towards 2/3 of the way through my search this morning of putting videos together, I found this site, this page rather, on Accordions Worldwide, and it's very cool. I'll just read the first paragraph out loud, and I just want to give credit, to Accordions Worldwide, and I don't know, maybe I should have been consulting them all along. It's very cool. The first paragraph says, we are used to hearing traditional African music based on percussion, but the accordion was very popular between 1880 and 1940. The white missionaries probably introduced the accordion into Africa, and much of the continent's music played with accordions is a mixture of Christian hymns and Latin songs. And that's something else that I really want to acknowledge, especially here in 2024, is that, that this is a history, as this is a rich history with much politics and human rights and class and poverty and all this kind of stuff. And I want to state that I'm approaching this very, very I'm trying to approach this very, very respectfully and as a curious accordionist. And so all the videos that we watch today are approached that way, very, very respectfully. And I don't mean to exploit, I guess. I don't want this to have that feeling at all. An interesting thing about YouTube is it is very voyeuristic. Like when we watch the videos of Yannicka Manuna and his band, we're seeing people's weddings, and Marian Mexicano, we're seeing people's lives, on the internet. And I don't know, in this moment, I'm even rethinking the ethics of that. There's a lot of this, your life is broadcast publicly. And I don't know anybody who's African and plays the accordion and has told me about it. So I'm very uninformed, and this is my first step here. I can tell you that all the music that I have on the playlist I loved, and that is our deep connection. So I just wanted to acknowledge all that. So I'll read the next two paragraphs, and then whoever wrote, I wish there was an author's name on this, and a date. But regardless, it's very cool. So the second paragraph says, the popularity of the accordion was probably due to its sturdy construction and portability, which we know, right? But during the Second World War, the guitar became fashionable and many other Western instruments, and the quote old style symbolized by the accordion lost favor. The last paragraph says, though many Africans played the accordion, few names are recorded. Most musicians were only known to those living in the immediate vicinity or perhaps the next village. However, in each African country where the accordion has been popular, we can find at least one celebrity. Here we have brief details for countries within Africa. And that's as far as I'm going to go on that, because I scanned these, and these helped me. Like, I Googled names, names of the famous musicians and stuff, and we have some of them here. But I didn't do much more than that. So in future streams, I think what I'd like to do, what I prefer to do is, I think obvious to all of you watching, saying accordion of Africa is ridiculous. It's like Africa is a continent, but it's so many different things. So what I would prefer to do on future streams is to get very specific and say, the music of Ghana or something like that, the accordion music of South Africa or whatever. But in this way. So that's all to say. I don't know. This is my perspective, everybody. Let me check in with the chat here. Let's see. Graceland by Paul Simon has some accordion in it. That's true. Birdie Wooster. Yeah. Maybe we can find like a live version of Graceland to check out. Yeah. Well, so here, let's just kind of jump in and start listening to stuff. I have other videos too prepared that are not African music and on the accordion or involving accordion. And then I also have like a little topic that I want to talk about. But for now, let's just listen to some cool music. Let's start out here we'll start with yeah, okay. Here, let's start with unmute it. The channel is called Help Orphans. So it's I assume it's a nonprofit aid agency, and maybe somebody has documented this and put it up online. This says that the musician is Joseph, who is the director of HTO.org, playing African music, Sabine, and using accordion. So here we go. Let's check this out. And that's it. Super cool. So I feel like I noticed, a rhythm that I first heard about in salsa music, which is the clave. But we know the clave, that, bell pattern goes back to West Africa. Was like, to my musician's ears, was like the main kind of rhythmic cell, that held everything together. It's cool. Let's see. Let's see if there's more accordion on this channel. Let's see. Nope, that's the only one. We got some piano, but that's it. All right. So next on the list is here we got. This is. Oops, you can't see it. Here we go. All right. So not much info here. Somebody playing like in a store, like in a I don't know, in a store, which is cool. I don't know if they sell the accordion in the store or what's up, but here we go. I'm sorry, that's so short. I think it is technically a shorts. Let's see if we got any more accordion here. One of the things was like the majority of the stuff when I searched, in English, Africa and accordion, the majority of the videos were like devotional, like Christian music, which is fine, and I love a lot of Christian music. Is great music. Not my faith or anything like that, but it's great music. But I wanted to vary it, So I found a lot of like other shorter videos. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, the accordion is one of the shorts. That was cool. Okay, so here. Let's go to the next one on the playlist. So anyway, this is just to say that I got a lot of short videos. I have some long videos. Here we go. This young man, Barack Kamau, he plays a bunch of different instruments, and this is 10 seconds of him playing the accordion. So I think it's cool. Like, what I see is just, hey, Courtney is watching. Thanks for saying hi. You get a sense of the rhythm there. So just changing the chords, with the bellows, but the music is in the rhythm there. Let's check out some more stuff. Here's a cool one. This is Zideki Mangaliso, and this channel is cool because it's a musician, some sort of Western, somebody from, I assume, Western Europe or the West, because I checked out the rest of the channel, and he has, it's a he, is the guy who has this channel. I forget his name, but he gives us a little bit of information. So Zideki Mangaliso plays his own composition on the concertina. In this song, he uses the Josa chord cycle, which is cool. I want to Google that. With two major chords, one tone apart from each other. In this case, G and F. So a little bit of music theory, musicology here. Let's check out Zideki do his thing. That's cool. Where his vocals start getting much faster. Very cool. Okay, here, let's check out some stuff that's not like sort of iPhone filmed or whatever. Let's check out, here's a band from Cabo Verde, which is an island, Cape Verde, island off the coast of West Africa. And this is a band called Bitori, or pardon me. Bitori is the name of the musician who's the accordionist, who is famous. We also have some other musicians on the other instruments. The YouTube description here says Bitori is a legendary accordionist from Cabo Verde, and he's the founder of the Cape Verdean Funana.
Na cabalu cata da obra, toca na cabalu cata da obra. Dade na cabalu cata da obra, toca na cabalu cata da obra. Cavalo, amigo de tudo nós. Cavalo, anima de grande estimação. Cavalo, der comida dentro da hora. Cavalo, amigo tudo nosso. O mocinho toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Cavalo, amigo de tudo nosso. Cavalo, animal de grande estimação. Cavalo, desfiago dentro da hora. Cavalo, amigo tudo nosso. O mocinho toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Dade na cavalo, cata da obra. Toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Dade na cavalo, cata da obra. A mocinha toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Aguenta, aguenta, aguenta. Dade na cavalo, cata da obra. Toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Dade na cavalo, cata da obra. A mocinha toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Cavalo, amigo tudo nosso. Cavalo, animal de grande estimação. Cavalo, desfiago dentro da hora. Cavalo, amigo tudo nosso. A mocinha toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Cavalo, amigo tudo nosso. Cavalo, animal de grande estimação. Cavalo, desfiago dentro da hora. Cavalo, amigo tudo nosso. A mocinha toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Dade, dade, cata da obra. Toca, toca, cata da obra. Dade, dade, cata da obra. A mocinha toca na cavalo, cata da obra. Cudubá, cudubá. Tá bem, tá bem, tá tirando pra mamãe. Tá bem, tá tirando pra papai. Tá bem, tá tirando pra mamãe. Tá bem, tá tirando pra papai.
Yeah. Sick. Pianolero says it's not too far from a Colombian cumbia. And I would ask you, Pianolero, like after the groove switched when it got faster, to me that sounds no longer, I agree with you. Although I'm not I'm not like educated enough to be able to tell you like what's the difference between like a Colombian cumbia and a cumbia maybe from like another part of the Caribbean. But yeah, that's it. I'm curious. It sounds like you probably know a lot about that music. When it got faster, did it still sound like a cumbia? And then some pointing out of the percussionist was playing the bell, and the timbales. Yeah, very cool. All right, here, let's check out some more stuff. There's just so much good music in the world. So this is Regi Gizavo from Madagascar. And I know like Cinema, the Center National and International for Music and Accordion that Jacques Mornay and Nathalie Bouchek's run and founded, and we love here on the stream. They have done workshops in Madagascar. And if we go to, I'm not going to like resize so that you guys, so I apologize that I apologize. I thought there was an entry on Madagascar here. Somewhere I saw it. Oh yeah, it's in the description here. Here, I'll read a little bit of this. The accordion was introduced to Madagascar by sailors in the 19th century, which like we know, you know what I mean? Like that's how it traveled. Trade. So since then, it had become an integral part of the local culture. Regi Gizavo is one of the last custodians of the island of Madagascar's traditional music heritage, has developed a unique accordion playing style, reworking the traditional folk music of the island for modern ears. And they say that the quality of the video is not great. And the song is called Ho Anareo, which means for you, and appeared on this album. It's out of print, but blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So here we go.
Accordion in Afrika. Accordion in Afrika. Hoe zit het in elkaar? Oké. Muziekinstrument accordion heeft zijn weg gevonden naar het Afrika.
Chat, do you guys think that this is Dutch? Anybody out there? And then Pianolero answered my question and said, yeah, when the groove got faster, it went to a different kind of thing.
Eiland Madagaskar tijdens de Franse invasie van 1896.
So here, why don't I, for anybody just kind of listening out there, I'll sort of read what the... So two elements. Accordion, Africa. Accordion is one element, Africa is the other element. How does that work? The accordion found its way to African island of Madagascar as a colony of France. The French invasion of 1896, it looks like. The inhabitants of the island who previously had used their own traditional instruments started to, at this point, to integrate the accordion with into their own music.
De accordeon. En Regi Gizavo van Madagaskar.
Gizavo.
Daar is opgegroeid. Was al van kleins af.
So Regis grew up with the accordion from an early age and wanted to learn to play the instrument and become a musician.
Toen dacht hij, ik wil muzikant worden. Ik wil verder in de muziek. Hij wilde dat heel graag. Zijn vader absoluut niet. Die zei,
His father didn't let him.
Nee, jij gaat studeren. Dat ging hij ook doen. Maar tijdens de studie merkte hij toch dat het bloed kroop waar het eigenlijk niet kon of hoorde te gaan. Deed het toch.
And then he couldn't resist. He moved to Paris in 1990, and since then his musical career has skyrocketed.
Nu is het 2002. Hij is nu hier in de Paradiso Live. Please welcome Regi Gizavo.
Well, that was English. I don't know anybody. I mean, the language he was speaking did not sound like French to me. My guess is Dutch, but I don't know.
Matipasuran, usamos a la montare. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So beautiful.
Sanado, sanado. Matipasura, usamos a la montare. Mi fanta chabanare wahanye, dami sinyi mi fama, gaza toma para, gaza toma para hare, gaza toma para. I love Tratiza heart, Tianare sahar, Wanare sahar. One outside, high, high. Mi fakachaba nare wahane, dami singi mi fama, casa toma para hare, casa toma para. I love Jatiza heart, Tiana de Saha, Wanare Saha.
Soft. Third or tenths, thirds. Yeah. Wow. What an artist. I mean, that has, like, I feel like for me as a listener, he takes it like a rare kind of pop quality. Like, Malagasy. Interesting, Charlie. And would that be the language that Regis was speaking, or the language of the presenter? But Malagasy is, I'm guessing that's the Madagascarian language. That's cool. I have such a hip audience. Very cool. And Nomad Farmer thanked me for reading the subtitles because Nomad Farmer is cruising around with the headphones on, which I can relate to. I love to do that. Cool. Okay, yeah. Wow. And Regis's voice, wow, just so beautiful, man. Wow. I really got like, I don't even know, like I kind of that 90s, like not Dave Matthews, but like I could hear the same thing happening like with a guitar, which is like a quality that I don't usually feel from accordion music, even if it is a solo accordion and voice. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's check out some more stuff. I got lots more. Here's some worship music. Christian, and that last video was quieter than the others, so sorry. I'm going to start a little softer so I don't blast us out. This is Odeneho Obiri Yeboah singing accordion music by the Big Six. What else? This is the Freeman House of Music. If we click on their channel, the channel is to promote young talents to expand the kingdom business, and we have the words gospel and praise. So I believe this is Christian music. Here we go. Call that the Roomba Clave. Okay, cool. So that was really neat. This is a short 15-second YouTube short, which is melodious accordion and chanting Hare Krishna. So here's something. Okay. Yeah, we're going to come back to that video that I have up here. That's pretty dark. Okay, cool. Here, let's check out some other stuff here. This is a really cool record. So, reviving the accordion in popular music of East Africa. Not West Africa, but East Africa. This looks like it's a record, that's released. So I want to listen to it. I'm a little apprehensive about getting copyright struck, but it's I see 3 accordionists here. Looks very cool. So here, let's check this out. This is let's see, this is Dawa is the name of the track, and Nyota Ndogo is one of the musicians. Play it. Why is it not playing? I gotta refresh. I don't know what's going on. There we go.
Hata nikipata malaria nikikuona sayo napona. Naweza kulia bahari na macho yasikauke. Umenipa wazimu, wazimu na dawa ni wewe. Umenipa dawa isiyokuwa na jina. Hata nikipata malaria nikikuona sayo napona. Naweza kulia bahari na macho yasikauke. Umenipa wazimu, wazimu na dawa ni wewe, ni wewe. Najua mapenzi hayaishi. Ukinikimbia nitaumia. Na wajua ninahisia, wajua ninahisia kama zangu. Ukinikimbia nitaumia, wajua unahisia. Ukinitenga mimi nitalia. Nikipata malaria nikikuona sayo napona. Naweza kulia bahari na macho yasikauke. Umenipa wazimu, wazimu na dawa ni wewe. Umenipa dawa isiyokuwa na jina. Hata nikipata malaria nikikuona sayo napona. Naweza kulia bahari na macho yasikauke. Umenipa wazimu, wazimu na dawa ni wewe, ni wewe.
Shredding.
nikikuona sayo napona. Naweza kulia bahari na macho yasikauke. Umenipa wazimu, wazimu na dawa ni wewe. Umenipa dawa isiyokuwa na jina. Hata nikipata malaria nikikuona sayo napona. Naweza kulia bahari na macho yasikauke. Umenipa wazimu, wazimu na dawa ni wewe, ni wewe.
So it's so cool. So like I only heard one accordion, and that awesome like sounds like a Hammond, and then percussion, and I don't know, like maybe I don't know. I'm thinking it's electric bass. It sounded like two kind of good to be foot pedals of the organ, but I don't know. I could be wrong. What do you guys think? Let's I don't want to listen to like another track here, but let's check out one of these other tracks. These all seem to be from the same record. It could be called Lelele Africa, reviving the accordion and popular music of East Africa. Let's check out Suhuba Yadai. Let's see what this one's all about. That sounds like two accordion players.
Nilidhani shoga, siri kukwambia. Nilidhani shoga, siri kukwambia. Nilidhani shoga, siri kukwambia. Nilidhani shoga, siri kukwambia. Umepaka shume unanidia kama pato pata, kama pato pata, kama pato pata. Nimekuachilia, 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 nimekuachilia kama pato pata.
All right, great. Awesome. I love it. And I'm happy to find that it's on Spotify so I can listen to it later. Let's check out one more. Oh, let's click this one. Mahari featuring Kim Jesus. Is that a kora? No. More like an oud or something. Cool. Cool pianelero. Thank you. Turkish, Egyptian music influences because this is music of East Africa, right?
Sina mali na sina mali ya kupeleka mahali wazazi wako wanapotaka. Sina mali na sina mali ya kupeleka mahali wazazi wako wanapotaka.
And I love it. I'm sorry I faded that out too abruptly, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Can't wait to listen to this record later. Sorry about my sore voice, by the way. I'm not sick. I'm just a little hoarse. A pony. All right. And yeah, I'm eating an Uncrustable on the stream. And you can too. This is really fun. Is chat, are you all enjoying this music? So cool. Man, there's some definitely unique stuff that I found too. Things that I don't want to play, but I guess at least want to tell you that I found. There's one documentary on what's called the Accordion Wars. Let's see, which we are not going to watch. It's sad, very, very sad. Did I put it on the? I'm trying to think. If I'm looking for it on the playlist to see if I did. It's by Al Jazeera News. And I think that I didn't add to the playlist because we cannot watch it. But here's the BBC News article about it. It's fascinating in that there's a lot of the culture of the people at war with each other, gangs and warlords and gold mines and all kinds of stuff. The stories are told by accordionists and accordion music. And the music is triggering, I don't know if triggering, but inflaming, the violence. It's very, very sad, but I don't know. It's sad. But anyway, if you're interested in reading more, and there is a Al Jazeera, a really, well-made Al Jazeera news piece that you can find about it. It's called The Accordion Wars. Almost the same title, and you can find that. But like I said, it's just worth noting. I mean, yeah. That I don't know, that this is a window to the culture. You know what I mean? Okay, it's heavy. I kind of regret even bringing that up, but something that I did find. Okay, so let's check out some more other stuff. Okay. So here we go. Here's some music from Lesotho. We were just talking about it. This is not from that documentary. Traditional music from the radical Sotho sounds. And radical, I think, just, Sotho sounds, not in the political sense.
la luguite umasikia mazu haesu la nyama de mane atiba yebe ka bonata ke mo bona hotre na jita ma banga ile ka yenu che ya bona jita ma se ka kala uri ro ka jama ka ale ya ka ko mane jama take mane atiba je kala winjoro tume hae Ugamana mari toja vamos vele mwatu tatilele lele injizeni koje siki wena eni mwana kuna niwa jana mwana mmoja ndio mama ni kulale kwa wena jangale basi ale kama kata dale kama watei owane ganne yino zama na mkoje zokati atiwa wa bateje kaje watu amekuja watu haisiwa yanga basi kale msomo Kiela yale mbona turunji jegani anda wale jema na batale me ayo dai jema tale mababa jemo bona jema mwana yoga wale mari wale madalu igweza madala le yurgala boriya awe wena uzama yalwa ayo uzama yalwa wale mari wale madala igweza
Yeah. Awesome. Really awesome. It seems professionally shot in the sense that the audio sounded great despite the fact that the musicians were so far away. I wonder if there was like overhead boom mic or something we didn't see. I couldn't believe it was picking up everybody so well. That was really, really cool. Yeah, Judy says I want to party with these guys for sure. I wonder. I love the look too, the style. Let's check out Edward Morgan's visual artist. Yeah, here we go. Filmmaker, like documentarian, looks like almost like Alan Lomax kind of ethnomusicologist, maybe documenter. This is cool. I'm gonna subscribe to Edward's channel. The ethical thing these days in streaming is to, when you're watching other people's content, to make sure that you give them credit, you know. So I'm trying to do that, as well as like educate ourselves. It's very cool. Yeah, that's cool. So, Sesotho, you know, is the Accordion Wars area. Let's listen to another musician. This is a short. Another musician. This is, let's see what information we have about this. Not much. 34 seconds. On TikTok. All right. Well, I'm pretty soon I'm gonna have to start getting on TikTok. Who out there is on TikTok? I know I have one friend who's an accordionist, and she's on TikTok, and she's always sending me mostly comedy stuff. I haven't gotten onto it. I gotta say, I definitely was on the like, it's China, and I don't know, but I think I'm over that now. That might be not really something we gotta worry about so much. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to get political. Just say that's why I haven't been on TikTok so far. Okay. Let's check out more of this stuff. All right. So Sotho music. Music of Sierra Leone. That's cool. What else? I know. Okay, here. Let's check out Maranga Watonye. Maranga Watonye. And I know here. from this post here. I thought I found this musician from this article. Maybe I didn't. Okay. This is the official video, meaning it's like a music video.
Adikeria domotikanya historia mbara ya ruiro ne wagatonya uramutariya nangirangwe wega murega abikuria Kenya ba tegai matumuigwe kanginya nyone joru kware mone nyawaire toritora karodi togedo ndame chiria kaigwa tore apalera togedo ndame chiria kaigwa tore apalera Toi buoni, tua maqueta, todo toi me segudi, dov'edoro a vicoidato, nato tia uroca, dov'edoro a vicoidato, nato tia uroca, motimi o mani opire, nari voti, na lubia, ave toi raciana chiapua, voconi vodokia, ave toi raciana chiapua, voconi vodokia, toque muera, omereria, tu hanga, mbaicha, Rida di mari vodene chatudaga mashaya Rida di mari vodene chatudaga mashaya Tuauraga gatuoro de mahako nera Makaura que vonuka iduode tuvakaba Makaura que vonuka iduode tuvakaba Nainde o tuvekaba hakuena mogumo Tangwa que hora bebeta burunji que yaiboro Longwa kihora veta burungi teyayo Luini we wari menja muruidi awambara Age tongori amerano egekeraro dagati Age tongori amerano egekeraro dagati Natua kinya haukiangi tumikora shakaba Ando rema kyomeria togeshika buridia Ando rema kyomeria togeshika buridia Kidarerio garo kene de kari kemaka Moida gane wenjenuro wakoro iziambara Ajenuro wakoro iziambara Kareva kiugana kiuo sabura yo murungu Motigembari anyakairo nurimo marenago Motigembari anyakairo nurimo marenago Drikari areninge aruteto nanyuki Nerenge atomotomo nerenge karatina Nerenge atomotomo nerenge karatina Dongo nyinge neshiorire ironeke amashindi Koushi aragiana oba shetanage nanyuki Koushi aragiana oba shetanage nanyuki Modikere riawa oba napyake machokeria Loa yo inyu more kuo kouto tingoneka Loa yo inyu more kuo kouto tingoneka One hauno mwadi kuama koroni ala jana gidungu etwa dini tandege miscalation akoga The stability of the Kenya government has been destroyed by Mau Mau terror. Bebeta to arena nyingi raigo ipingi tareka Guruneti to arena shiona to tia ugarira Guruneti to arena shiona to tia ugarira Laterua dori davi chabavoti ashiade Chuyakira karamono agekira kiananga Chuyakira karamono agekira kiananga
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to check out Maranga and see if we could find a Wikipedia article on them or anything like that. Yeah, it was 3/4. I didn't even recognize that Nomad Farmer. Yeah, and then I tried to translate this, and you can see how great a job it did that. It thinks it's Swahili. I don't know. Anyway, and just to clarify, the TikTok thing is, just that I was, there's a view that TikTok, because it's controlled by the Chinese government, will steal your data and all that kind of stuff and spy on you through your smartphone. That's all I mean by that. My concern over that, why I haven't joined TikTok and am not active on it, checking it out, but I'm not so sure that that's really a big deal anymore. I don't know. Pretty ignorant. I'm not that well informed on that, so I don't have a really strong position. Anyways, just to say, TikTok is that's that's the hottest, newest social media platform. And No Man Farmer says they only do one social media account at a time, or big tech account rather. So it makes sense. Yeah, and similarities to old Cajun music. No Man Farmer's saying how like the Facebook and Google are already essentially. Whatever. We everybody watching knows about all that stuff. Anyways, okay, let's check out some more music. Let's see. Let's do a couple more and then we'll go maybe in a different direction. Sierra Leone. Here we go. This is maybe 7 minutes. I don't know that we're gonna watch all of it. This is Mayu Kamara. Cool. Mako Design Arts. Yeah. We're just gonna duck the music a little bit. So there's some great comments here for us. So down here, if we're to believe this commenter, Andrew Kai 1304, in the glory days of Sierra Leone, Salia Koroma was the standard bearer of epic proportion of our cultural landscape. In his songs, he told stories as if they were a manifestation of some deity linking the past, present, and the future. He was overwhelmingly a man of good character who captivated his audience with songs that solidified his, I'm assuming, positivity, on earth as the cultural ambassador of Sierra Leone. May he continue to entertain his new audience of angels and saints in the golden pavilion of his heavenly Father. What a beautifully written comment. Wow. Cool. So a beloved figure. I was hoping that we could, turn the subtitles on and get some sense of what he's singing about, but it doesn't work. Anyways, okay, cool. So we'll pause there. That's cool. I have a couple more for us to check out. Oh yeah, okay. Here's some more church music. I'm probably gonna scrub through a little bit because I want to start with checking out. Who is this? Let's see. The channel is Baba Al Accordion TV. He's a musician, and maybe a minister, and an accordionist. And this looks like a service. So here we go. Let's see. I want to take it to here. Really cool how he has the SM57 like on attached to the top of the accordion. That's really cool. All right, we'll skip forward a little bit. See if we can get something with a different. We can't really hear his accordion too well. YouTube can't translate. Okay. Couple more here. Some more Basotho music with dancing. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh yeah. It's either Anthony or Antoine. I can't tell. But they're from Zaire. Yeah, let's check out, cause sometimes he's listed as like, this looks like he's Antoine Wendo. But then this article, he's Anthony, so this might be a misspelling of his name. But musician from Zaire. Let's see. Here we go. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, that video is pretty bad. Okay, so last one we'll check out. This is great. This is like a performance and an interview. So this is, let's see, Sotho again. This tells us, this is the channel of Bishop Andile. Slumyards. Okay, so the history of Sotho Koreana accordion music can be traced back to the 1920s, where, let's see, as Copeland, I guess a researcher indicates, look, there's like references and stuff. It originated in the slumyards of Johannesburg, South Africa. 2024 is the year to share music indigenous to Africa for 366 days. Let's have some fun. That's cool. Okay, so this is Anesu Indoro, a musician, and who's also going to be interviewed and tell us about the music, which is cool. So here we go. So these fifths, this fifth sounds similar. We watched that like 30-second video of the guy that had like more of almost like a beret style hat, and then with the drummer on the porch or something that looked like with a black drum head. And that accordion player was playing like a lot of open fifths too. Just things that I noticed.
Still learning.
No, that's way better than I could ever imagine doing. An accordion, yeah. So tell us, what was that song you did?
So this is a song I'm currently learning and playing. It's called Ki Ketete Emotle. It's by a Famo band called Tao Ema.
Famo, F-A-M-O.
So Famo, family music is the music you find in Lesotho, with where they incorporate the accordion or the concertina, which is like the smaller hexagon one. This is more German French origins. The concertina is more like Anglo English origins. And so when a lot of German immigration to South Africa happened in like the 1700s and 1800s, a lot of instruments were incorporated into the traditional music. So you find a lot of concertina accordion music in Xhosa, Sotho, Zulu music. Another instrument called the auto harp was incorporated into Pedi music. And so that particular band is one of the kind of more well-known famole music kind of forerunners in Lesotho. So I kind of was very lucky to come across this, and my immediate thought was I need to start learning traditional Sotho, traditional Xhosa music on this accordion.
The accordion.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's so amazing. I love the sound. I love the incorporation. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
And keep learning, because I'm coming for lessons. Because this, I can play the piano.
Yeah. So
but then I don't think this side.
This particular side.
Yeah.
So that's the tricky thing about playing an accordion. If you already play piano or keyboard, you have kind of an advantage on this side. It's the balancing the two different sounds happening at the same time, but also it's the rhythms as well. Because
Africa is all about rhythm.
Africa is all about rhythms, and what's fascinating then about playing the accordion and playing African music on the accordion is you are taking some of those drum rhythms, because Famo music is inspired a lot by Sotho drumming, and then you are kind of incorporating those kind of drumming, I don't know how can you put it, like the times onto the playing itself, because you're kind of putting singing voices as well. So it's it's tricky already because you're doing two different things with your hands, but also because you have to be doing the right rhythm at the same time for it to be recognizable. Okay.
Yeah, so definitely that was Anis Sundoro yet again.
Anis
This
Sundoro.
time around doing the accordion, tracing back to Sutu music, and I totally enjoyed that because this is the music indigenous to Africa. I hope you are learning much about African music so that you can take it up as a profession like me, or you can take it up as a hobby like some people. But it's so cool because you are Africa, I'm Africa, and we are definitely Africa. So peace out.
Yeah, what a cool video. All right, let's just check out some more of Bishop Andil's channel. Bishop Andil is a prolific worship leader, songwriter, producer, recording artist, ministry. Let's see. Yeah, devotional. He's prolific, as he said. Let's watch one of these marimba ones. These seem cool. Yeah. Oh wow. Lots of marimba stuff. This is really cool. Oh, this looks so neat. Which one to pick? Okay, let's do a recent one from. Oh, let's do Kwaito vibes. Hey. That was so cool. All right. I think that should wrap up, not the entire live stream. We still got about a half hour left, but that portion of checking out African accordion music. How cool was that? I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to go back. I mean, to go back to that stuff. I mean, from this point, then I think the next step forward to do more is to really try to dial into like Lesotho music, or like choose a region, either a nation or a region, and maybe a genre in there or something like that. And what I like to do as a format that I think is really cool is like try to find who are like the famous musicians, what are the famous songs, like a documentary about the history of the music and the culture of the music, something about the dance. Yeah, my fingernails painted. Something about like how people dance to that music, and then a tutorial like by accordion players on how to play the music. And I feel like presenting all those as my little formula. If anyone out there feels like doing research and you want to send me an email with like links and info or anything, or also please do so. It's dallas@risingreed.com. Or if you have any suggestions for cool topics, things that you think would be interesting to cover, topics, things to find on YouTube and check out together, send it over. I love hearing, all your creative ideas and where your appetite is. Okay, so here, let me grab an accordion and I'll kind of switch gears to the other like little presentation. Yeah, I know what we'll do. We'll plug some stuff too. So I wanted to plug a couple things. So first of all, if you are an accordion educator, whether you have one student now that you teach or 100 students of accordion that you teach, I want to plug that this Sunday we're going to do the next Teach Talk, which is the idea is to bring accordion teachers of North America together. And so we can meet each other and hang out a little bit in a very informal, non-hierarchical way. So the vibe is not like, hey, learn how to be a better teacher. That's not the vibe. The vibe is we all come from different backgrounds and experiences. We all have our own beautiful art and way of educating and pedagogy. And also, every educator I know is trying to do better. To be even better, myself included. And so I started this with the ATG and the great help of the committee that I'm with Michael Bridge and many other people. And so that's what this is for. It's free. It's every 2 months on like the third Sunday usually, and it's coming up this Sunday. So I would love for any accordion educators out there that want to come and hang out. You can, if you click the link, just go to atgaccordions.com and you'll find it on the front page there. And then one other thing that's really, really exciting. So my friends in Seattle, Jamie Mashler and Gabriel Hall Rodriguez. Although it's Gabe here. Okay, sometimes he's Gabriel, sometimes he's Gabe. I want to make sure that I respect if it's Gabe or Gabriel. They are two phenomenal accordion players, just absolutely great. They are my generation. They're a few years younger than me. I consider them very close friends. I've known them for years now. And I also am a fan of the music that they make and their educational style and their approach to music. I would consider it very similar to mine in the sense that they are performers and they approach music primarily from the way of making our own parts. So one of the musics that they specialize in is forró from the north of Brazil, which is a really, really fun, amazing dance music. In fact, we had Gabe and Jamie on as guests to share forró with us a little while ago. For years, they've been talking to me about their school called the Emerald City Accordion School and the camp that they wanted to do as an in-person intensive way to educate and to share their music and to bring people together. And it's finally happening. The Emerald City Accordion Camp is happening. It's coming up pretty soon, October 11th through 14th. And I want to help them promote and share because I know that they're amazing. And if you are on the East Coast, you might not be as familiar with them because they're very active on the West Coast. I know they tour the West Coast and they play all the time in Seattle and they do all the accordion festivals on the West Coast. They don't get out to the East Coast so much. They also both work at Plateaus and do lots of stuff there. And they're just, I can't say enough good things about them. And they're also really good friends of mine. Beautiful, beautiful human beings as well. And all the spirit that we love of this live stream is the way that they approach music. So I can't say enough about this. If you are looking for such an experience, here it is. I assume if you Google Emerald City Accordion Camp, you can find it quite easily. I found it because just this morning I received the Plateaus newsletter, which also has somebody that we have talked about before as the main interview. But anyways, this is the Emerald City Accordion Camp, and yeah, check it out. It would not be a bad thing for anybody to go to. Let's see, where is it? It's in Kirkland, right? Which I know from going to Costco. That's somewhere up in the greater Seattle area. Cool. Okay, so those are my plugs. Let me just switch and grab my accordion, and then I'll kind of get into the little lecture thing that I wanted to do today. Alrighty. I'm gonna unmute the other side accordion. Now this always happens in the live streams. It starts out, Bertie Wooster's always the first to comment, and then we get more comments, and then it kind of, the chat quiets down, and that's fine, but somebody say something to me. Make sure that my technology is not busted. So, alright. I got the left hand accordion, or microphone rather, and the right hand, well, the vocal microphone. And Nomad Farmer, thank you so much. Paying attention the whole time. Alrighty. Thanks, Nomad Farmer. The chat is working. Yes. So let me unmute this. So I think, just sharing kind of my process and educational thoughts from join the call. Cool. Nomad Farmer is going to join the ATG call on Sunday. That's great. It's a Zoom, and it's the participation is like implied, just so you know, Nomad Farmer. It's like have a shirt on and be ready to talk and share. And so it's just discussion and exploring ideas and sharing and stuff like that and meeting the community. It's very cool. Okay, so this is working. I can see. So I think what I didn't plan to talk about, but the first thing I would talk about, since I haven't touched the accordion yet today, is just warming up. So one of the things that I think about when I'm warming up, when I first put on the accordion, is I know myself now through, a decade plus of playing, more than a decade, a lot more, of playing the accordion, that my body's a little slow to warm up, and if I try to do too much too fast, I get inflammation of my forearms. And then that does the opposite. That tightens me up, and it makes it so I'm not limber and quick and agile and stuff. So I try to start really, really slow. So I'm going to show you guys something that I was working on last live stream, and I'm not ready to carry on to a new idea yet. Let's see. Let me get this. I'll sit back a little further. And it's this little arrangement of Pennies from Heaven in 12 keys. So I'm still working on that. I'm still on the 12 keys tip. I'm going to stop the chat. Let's see, just hide the chat here so you can see my accordion uninstructed. Okay, let's see, I got to boost the gain. That's what's got to happen. Take this up to 30. Let's see, hopefully that's not too loud. So, and this, let's see, what one of the hands is too loud, I think. Let me just see. I can see it peaking a little bit. Nah, I think it's okay. Chat, tell me if it's all distorted. So I have this little arrangement. It started with just playing the melody and not really worrying about the arrangement, just trying to do the melody, to sing the melody to the tune. Every time, let's see. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Shooby-dooby-doo, don't you know, etc. And putting that in 12 keys and working my left hand. And then once that was coming along with a few tunes, then I was like, okay, now I can, I kind of like listen to my creativity. What do I want to do? I want to do more chords and harmonies. Treble is coming through more than the basses. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the basses are pretty quiet in relationship. Let me just boost this. Thank you so much, Nomad Farmer. So then once I had sort of reached the goal of like, I'm just trying, can I play an F sharp and the Stradella side, and all the 12 keys, and kind of put things together. Then it's okay. Then what's the next artistic step? And for me, I'm just trying to get back further. There we go. For me, that was adding harmonies. And so at first, my first thing, like on other tunes, Just add chords a little bit anyway. You know, and not try to hold myself to a strict arrangement, to doing exactly the same thing in all 12 keys on the chords. Just get something in there somehow as a first step. Like, okay, cool. You know, my concept is always the first step to achieve is what you can do. You know, you need to make your goal doable for today's, because if we can't meet our goal for today, then I think we just get really discouraged, you know, and the discourage piles on very quickly. So the first step for me was that, and then it became cool. All right, I've got that in 12 keys. I've got rhythm in 12 keys, and I was working on Sweet Georgia Brown in 12 keys. Like, okay, there's still stuff to work out there. The little chromatic descending thing, that's hard to do accurate and fast. So there's still work to be done, but okay. And then the tune that I started last week, I think, that I showed on the stream that I'm still working on, is Pennies from Heaven. That tune is cool because it has this diminished chord walk down. So the version I'm doing is going the 1 chord, which is C major, now the 2 chord, which is D minor, now the 3 chord, which is E minor, and then a flat 3 diminished, which is E flat diminished, and that takes you back to the 2. I feel like there's something on my leg, pardon me. And it's 2-5, 2-5. And that 3 flat 3 diminished is in so much stuff. So there's a tune called I Can't Give You Anything But Love. If I was to do that in the key of C, it'd be I can't give you 3, or 1/3, however you want to do it, anything flat 3 diminished but love, baby, that's the only, we could go 3, thing I've plenty of, darling. I don't really know all the lyrics, but it's very useful, and it's very useful for walk-ups and walk-downs. So this little movement, that's taking us to the 2 chord, but you could that walk-up, or you could get to it with another diminished chord, like that, and harmonize it. So 1, 2, flat 3, 3. You can come down. Let's see if I can do it. Right, so walking up on La Vie en Rose. Bum, body, dee, body, body. It's starting to get a little weird. You could do the same thing in reverse. Da, da, dee, dee, body. However that would be. I'm trying to think of other places. Anytime you have just like a long major chord or tonic chord, you can use that little walk up, walk down for it. So that's really cool, and that's why I wanted to choose this one to get it in time. That's why I chose this song as sort of my next tune, thinking of commonly used chord progressions that I want to get much better in my left hand accompaniment. So then what I had added was, what I like is it's sort of a combination of closed position voicings. This is an example of a closed position. So it's a C major 6, closed position, and then open position voicings, which in this case, I'm going to do what's called a drop 2. And a drop 2, if you want to try this out now or later, you take the 2 refers to the second voice from the top. So I'm wiggling my middle finger. The top is a C. It's not always easy to see what a person is pressing on the accordion. So I have a C in my pinky, an A in my middle finger, a G in my index finger, and an E in my thumb. And that the 2, the drop 2, this goes back to like big band arranging and stuff like that from the swing era, and it became something that accordial instruments did additionally. So if I was arranging for a saxophone quintet, like the saxophone section of a big band, say for example, these drop 2 voicings are very commonly used, and they sound great way to break up the chord. On the keyboard, it's not easy. It's a much more advanced thing to do, and anybody out there starting, do not start with drop 2s, and don't even start with 6 chords. Start with triads. That's for another subject. So the drop 2, here's the closed position, just a closed position 6 chord, and then I'm going to take that A, and I'm going to put it down here, an octave lower. That changes my fingering, and it sounds really good. So it's a combination of some close. This is close, close. Now this is open, a big D minor. And then this is shooby dooby. Those are all closed. And then this one's open and open. And that's my arrangement in 12 keys. Trying to, wind through that in 12 keys. And it is newer than I can accomplish in 2 weeks. But that's okay. And what I'm finding is like I'm starting to get a little bored, but I'm not completed with my work. So I would consider this either like sort of a plateau or something where I need to change the way I'm working. And so that's sort of what I wanted to just address. If anybody wants to type into the chat, like what do you do when you hit a plateau? This is something I teach accordion lessons throughout the week. Sometimes I hear from people, I feel like I've hit a plateau or something, or like, and I feel the same way in this progress. Like when I first started this 12 keys work on, like I've got rhythm and Louisiana Fairy Tale. It was like everything was so new and it was happening really quick feeling for me. And then like the progress has slowed a little bit. So my approach to practicing is to try to take one thing that I'm working on, in this case a tune, and in 12 keys, and then to do it in a progressive, like I call it a cycle. Like it's like a list. It's literally, I have a list of things to do. So I was talking about this last time and the time before that. So the first thing I do on my list this week is sing the melody. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven, shooby dooby doo. And then I need to think like, what am I trying to get really, really good here? It would be the compression in the bellows, which is a lot harder to do when I'm playing my left hand like this, with the quarter note, the Frank Morocco style quarter notes. And also, I really want to drill 2 bars opening and 2 bars closing, which is also challenging. And it's just a habit. So I'm going to do it again. Every time it rains, close pennies from heaven. I got to have enough bellows. Shooby dooby and open. Don't you know every cloud contains enclosed pennies from heaven, etc. You get the idea. And I find that for the compression, an adjustment is the posture. So if I'm sitting properly, this is a little bit back, and even sometimes there can be more of a gap between me and the accordion. As long as the upper part is touching my body, that usually tends to be the best. And man, every single day it takes me a little while to get warmed up. So that's the first step. Then the second step is I'll play the melody. And I still need to review sometimes, especially in a lot of the keys, the black note keys, I need to go like, okay, let me just do the right hand. So if let's pick the hardest one, which is F sharp or G flat. So before I even start that, I know it's going to be a little bit of I won't make it through if I don't review a little bit first. So I'll review. Now let's see, we're going to do the 3. What would that be? Yeah, see, it's slow. It comes back, but. And then. And it's low there. Maybe I should go high. But then I know that in some keys I have to, I don't have the range up at the top. So let me do that again. And now the shooby dooby, I would play up higher, but I don't have those notes on the keyboard, so I'll do it down the octave. Let's see. Yeah. It's like, oh, what's the 6? What's a G flat 6? What does that have in it? Oh, E flat, that's right. Yeah. So I'll warm up on those things a little bit. No, fine, G flat. And I've come to the realization for this tune, probably for a lot of them, actually G flat is better here. I can't do my chord shapes if I play F sharp, even though it's easier to control the bellows from up top. Like as far as controlling the bellows, like in the middle is the easiest. Higher is easier, and lower you go is harder, for me at least. So let's see, 2/5, zoo. And then I gotta get lower to the shooby-doo. Nah, not good. And back up. Oh boy. Now at this point in the song, I've told myself it's okay. I just let myself sort of freestyle the melody, which usually ends up being just single note melody. For the you'll find your fortune falling all over town. That part. It usually ends up being just single note melody, and then I'll add some chords. And then as a dominance, I'm on the 4 chord, which is B. And then here's the back to the A theme, so I got to go back to my composed arrangement. Shoot. Sa. And then it's because I'm not warmed up. My brain is like, I haven't played the accordion yet. And that is the hardest key for me. G flat is the hardest one. B is easier. D flat is easier. Yeah, G flat is the hardest one. And that's cool. And then I go chromatically. So I go always up in half steps. A lot of times I start on C and go up until I hit B, and then I usually do C again. And it's kind of fun. Like, as I said on the last stream, it's fun because you have an easy key, and then you have a really hard key, and then an easy key, and then a slightly hard key, you know. So going back and forth. So like after F sharp, then I get to do G. It's like a reward. G is so much easier. It's like wild. Because I played a bajillion tunes in the key of G, and I've played like, I'm trying to think what songs are in G flat that I play. I think none. I don't think I know any repertoire that people call in the key of G flat. So it's just new. So I do that, and then let's see, what do I do after that? I improvise, and I'm starting to get to the place where I'm like, okay, like I want to start adding more vocabulary or a way to work on the improvisation. And then after the improvisation, then I go back and I usually I don't sing it again, because at this point I know I don't mess up the lyrics. There are not that many of them, and they're not that hard to remember. But I do the chord version of the melody again one more time, and then I go to the next key and I do the same thing again. So for this week, I sort of like, I guess what I want to describe is this feeling of plateau. Like, all right, I don't feel like I'm getting a whole lot more out of this process. You know, I'm feeling ways that I want to improve, but this process, this little set list of things I just said, isn't continuing to help me improve. So what I need to do is change the list a little bit, you know, change the things that I'm going to do in the order. So I still know that working in 12 keys is awesome for me. So I still want to do that. I still want to keep working on Pennies from Heaven, because I don't feel like I'm finished with it. I still want to keep working on the chordal thing, because I don't have that done, and I know it's going to get better and better. But I start to think of these other things, like, okay, should I like compose a solo and transpose that? Should I take some patterns and transpose those through the 12 keys, you know, to work on my improv stuff? Should I do like scales or arpeggios or what else? Or different chord stuff? Like I was thinking, I had like a day where I was really exploring working on more of the closed position voicings in different inversions. And these are like little dabblings for me, you know? And that's sort of a part of my practice process that I come to, is like, it's the best when I have committed to myself on how I'm going to practice, what I'm going to practice, and how I'm going to practice it. and then I do it, for a while, and then I reach a point at which I go, okay, it's time to change it. And then a lot of times, I'm not exactly sure where to go next, and I have to explore and experiment where to go next. And that is the way that I work, because I don't have a teacher right now for this. I have definitely studied with many, many people over the years, and I'm sure I know I will again. But right now I'm not, and this process doesn't have a teacher. It has me. So what I do is I sort of, I take my creative impulses, like, oh man, what is this missing? Or, intuitively, what is it missing? So I know that I'm ready to work on my jazz vocabulary for improvisation again. And I find that, like, bringing up everything else, going to these open mics and doing the concert and stuff, like, other stuff is coming up, but it's time to work on the jazz vocabulary. So that's a thing. And so I dabbled in that. I checked out some. I thought, okay, maybe I'll, like, transcribe a solo and then take that through 12 keys, just little by little. And so I think it was yesterday I started on an Oscar Peterson solo. It's his solo with Stan Getz. So it's really a Stan Getz record with the Oscar Peterson trio that has Ray Brown, and I think it's Herb Ellis on the guitar. And Oscar Peterson just takes one chorus, and it's great. And it starts bluesy, and then he gets into more bebop vocabulary. So I started with that yesterday, or the day before, I can't remember. But I just had that inner doubt, like, I'm not quite sure that this is right, the right thing to do. And that's, that is a big, like, magic ingredient that we have to have. We have to feel, like, confident that what we are doing is the thing that we're supposed to do. If we don't have that, then it's really hard to focus and commit, and then be patient with ourselves, which is the other magic ingredient, is to be patient and be consistent. And if you do that, we will always see results. So I wasn't, intuitively it wasn't quite that. So I thought, what else? So only yesterday did I decide that the thing should be some of these accents that Jacques Mornay had showed us 3 years in a row, and this year in New Orleans, it made the most sense. Every year it makes more and more sense. And what do I get to see him once a year, maybe twice if I go over there. But it's this idea of the syncope, which is moving the bellow forward, creating pressure, moving the bellow forward. So the most of the pressure is here, and then I relax a little bit. And then as the pressure is sort of releasing in a very controlled way, so I'm pushing with my palm here. So, What I'm trying to do is, it's very, very crude. It's not good. Jack would not be happy with it. There'd be a lot of things to correct. Again, I just started playing this, and I'm not warmed up yet today, but just kind of exploring. And that felt like the right thing to do, because, like, it's like, I think starting the improvisation is just maybe too much. It's too much information, sort of, for me. Like, intuitively, it's like, no, that's not the thing to add right now. Like, maybe next week, yes, or after, in a couple weeks or whatever. Yeah, totally. Go to add some bebop vocabulary, or take a solo and put that in 12 keys little by little and turn it into language. But right now, that's not. I have enough language with the harmonies so let's add, but still I felt like stagnant, like a plateau. So what felt right to me is to add these accents. So let's see. It's changing the bellowing a lot. They don't sound awesome. I hope to show you guys all that next week where they do sound great. So that's where I'm going. And so then I've added a couple new little entries to my list. So I still play the chords, and I still sing it. And obviously the left hand is always doing that Frank Morocco thing. But now I do, when I do the melody, I also do the melody, single notes only, and trying to put as many accents in there really as I can get on the upbeats, on all the upbeats, even if it's like a little wonky. Like if it's like, it makes it so it doesn't sound swinging, Of course I am trying to make it swing, but like I'm trying to just like be that's usually what we do in this style of practice is we're like overdoing a topic, way overdoing it, putting it everywhere, so that way you over practice, over embellish, over ornament, and that way when you go to ornament or you go to do it, like you've done it in every possible way, opening the bellows, closing the bellows, on the first note of the melody, on the second note of the melody, on the downbeat, on the upbeat, on the 16th note, on the triplet, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And that is the spirit of the jazz practicer, or the person who wants to hit it from every angle, whether it be bluegrass or gospel music or jazz or any other similar tradition. To practice it from all the possibilities is the way. So I try to do that, and then I am trying to just take a really simple, let's see, what was it? Beat, do, dum, dum. Or is it? That's what it was. So on triads. Like that. So make a little triad. So it's like in addition to the melody, now I'm adding it to some sort of improvisation material, even though that doesn't sound much like a solo. So put it on the upbeat, on a triad. And again, the idea is like, because I'm going to do the same thing in 12 keys, and I really want to do it on a more complex piece of vocabulary, but right now my attention, like all of my mental effort is going to just being able to try to do the dang accent, the syncope that Jack has, over and over and over again the same way. And it's like, okay, when I can get it on just the triad, on the upbeat of one, after that, then I can make that more complex, and that sort of thing. And then after that, then I improvise, but I improvise trying to get a lot of accents in there. Loveudo. Again, not demonstrating super well for you guys, so trust me. But sort of that's it. That's the cycle. So this week's new thing is not more melodic or harmonic vocabulary, so chordal or lines or stuff. It's this idea of just trying to get some accents in there. And I think one of the major things that led me there was just knowing that that's something that I was working on for a little while after the cinema workshop, and it was great. Jack really got it in, and then I stopped and I miss it. And that I want to make it applicable, and I want to put it with the left hand. And then when I was listening to I was like, let me listen to some Charlie Parker and some Dizzy Gillespie and some other musicians improvise. When I turned on Charlie Parker, the thing that stuck out immediately to me was all of his accents and how important that is to swing and to bebop and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, shoot, I need to get those into my playing. And so for me, it's a very remedial level of controlling the bellows, two hands, keeping the left hand, having those nice light quarter notes, and then getting it into a set thing, like a set pattern, so the nervous system can just do the same thing, and then also working it into some sort of creative way of trying to do it. So for me, the creative way is to improvise and to try to just be like, I'm going to try to do my lines, but the focus is not necessarily excellent time or excellent note choices in the solo. The focus is on getting those accents in there without it, sounding busted. And that's it, because that's where I'm at, and I know that if I'm patient and I can get the time in on doing that, then I can make that more complex, closer to actual vocabulary. Or when I take the Oscar Peterson solo, which I got the first 4 bars for, then I can listen to where Oscar puts his accents and try to do it, or say I'm going to do my accents this way. You know what I mean? So keep that going. So it's sort of something that was missing in there. And as far as how I might suggest, anybody else do it, it would be the same way. So if you're working on a tune, I really think that the way that I think a tune should be worked on, even if you learn it off of a piece of a paper, is memorize it and internalize it, and then find different things to do with it. You want to be able to compose a variation of the thing. So an example of that would be the single note melody for Pennies from Heaven, and then some chords on Pennies from Heaven. And that could go with anything that you're doing. Other things you could do, are change the left hand accompaniment pattern, or, change the rhythmic variation, or add enclosures or, other embellishments to the melody. Whatever you're doing, that's what, like, quote unquote, real musicians are doing I would say in every field. Even if it's classical music just doesn't change the notes most of the time, but the freedom is in the dynamic contour, so louds and softs. It's in the phrasing, the creativity of the phrasing, the variance of the touch. All of these things are ways that we could play the same phrase of classical music, whether it's no matter what era, romantic, classical, baroque, contemporary, modern. Those can be played. You can play the same notes in the same order, but you can still, the interpreter, the musician playing it, can explore different creative, emotional feelings, or concepts. And I think like what we're after to feel dynamic and alive is not to just be somebody that recites the same thing the same way every single time. And that it doesn't even help to practice that way, that inhibits us when we practice. Of course, you have to get a certain level of competency with the material itself. So like before I can vary the melody of Pennies from Heaven, I just have to be able to play Pennies from Heaven with two hands exactly the same way. But once I have that, then I want to start thinking of ways that I could do something different with it. And then it's really 2 steps. So make a little etude, so to speak. So you're doing the same thing the same way, like my chord etude. Right, it's the same thing the same way on those parts of the melody, all 12 keys. But then after that's mastered, then you want to start being able to vary it, right? So by the time you have one variation, right? So I have the melody. Right, I have that single note, and then I have my chords. Right, so I've got those 2 ways, and then the creativity, the actual mechanism of creativity to practice is to switch between the 2. And from that comes the ability to just like do stuff, to intuitively have ideas and get them out in your hands, And that's a thing that I don't know, it's worth sharing with you guys. So if I were to take just those 2, the single note melody and the chords, I would say, okay, maybe I'll switch at the Pennies from Heaven. So every time it rains is going to be single notes, and then Pennies from Heaven is going to be the chords. So now chords. And now what do I do here? I don't know, back to single notes, I guess. And single notes. And now chords. Right, so I'm switching between the 2 things. And then I go, oh, I can do it. Bravo, Dallas. Now, what's the next thing, So it would be to reverse it. So start with the chords, and then go to the single notes. And then chords. And it should be chords. Single notes. Right, so we do a deliberate thing so that the brain can change. The brain. What's happening is you're thinking forward. The brain is switching between, oh, what do I do here? I do single notes. That's right. Oh, wait, the chords are coming up. I better remember. You have to think ahead and all that sort of stuff. And then what you do is then you say, well, I'm just going to freestyle it. I'm going to try deliberately not to be a set 2 bars and 2 bars, or this phrase and that phrase. And I didn't get that. That's it. So what I'm doing there is now I'm mixing it up. Some single note melody and some chords, And that's actually a creative process, or I should say it's an intuitive process, in the sense that I'm making the decision in that split second, which is what we're after. And so you can do that on anything, on any kind of music, and you can do that with any part of music. You know, you could do that with dynamics. You could go loud and soft. Okay, now I'm gonna do the reverse. Sorry. Soft. Now loud. Right? You could do it with dynamics like that if you wanted to work on that. And even that is a refreshing expression, you know? So then I would, I did two ways, you know, I did loud first and soft second, and then I did soft first and loud second. Okay, so I practiced both variations. And then I would say, well, now I'm gonna, you know, I would probably do that for more of the song. So then I say, well, now I'm gonna just not change so formulaically. Ask myself to change more intuitively without wrecking the song, keeping everything else good, but executing the creative thing that I'm working on. It can be done with the left-hand patterns. It can be done with ornaments, chords, embellishments, playing the melody, and then improvising. Right, so I'm alternating playing the melody and then improvising. That's another, like, that is a really great way to practice. And all this stuff I would be doing with the left hand. I should have been doing it with the left hand. I think it's my ego. I feel like I'm not warmed up, so I'm not great at demonstrating right now. But yeah, for me, I would do all that with the left hand, and that's my new thing now. So that would be my advice as well. Let me take a look at the chat. There is one question from Nomad Farmer, which says, how much time do you practice each day on average? I would say lately it's about, 3 hours. It's like 2 hour-and-a-half sessions thereabouts. Sometimes it's like an hour and 2 hours, or like 90 minutes and 2 hours, or like, you know, something like that. But around there, between like 3 hours and 4 hours maybe. I would like to do more, you know, and I like to break it up. And for me, the main way I'm practicing right now is just this cycle of 12 keys. And that is really, this way of practicing, and the reason why I'm talking about it and sharing it on the stream is because it's really helping me a lot. I'm getting a ton out of having the Frank Morocco left-hand chords, and then the melody on top of it. It's giving me like a fluidity and fluency, and that I've wanted for a long time. It's moving me towards that point, I can see. Very cool. All right, so we're about 15 minutes over the hour, a little bit long today because I want to hit all this stuff. I've got lots of other cool videos that I will watch next week on the stream. I don't know what the theme for next week's stream is going to be, but I hope to share more of this 12 keys process. I'm going to just say goodbye now. I hope everybody is great, and I look forward to seeing you next stream. If you have anything to suggest, or you want to talk to me or ask me any questions, go to risingreed.com and you can contact me through the contact form, or I think it has my email there. My email is dallas@risingreed.com. Thanks, it was really fun.